was first.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator. My question is regarding, hold on, I just wrote it. Yes, so where things stand in terms of normalization efforts between Saudi Arabia and Israel, and are they still demanding Israeli commitment for a Palestinian state? And another question, how effective do you think the sanctions that President Trump has imposed on the ICC in terms of dropping the arrest warrants against Netanyahu and Gallant? I am Balik Sladim from I-24 News.
I'll take a shot at jump in. So the Prime Minister said the biggest threat to the state of Israel is a nuclear-armed Iran, because they will kill all the Jews with a nuke if they get it. I believe that. So they can't get one, and they could use it if they had more than one against Arabs, against us. So second to that was the ICC. I mean, look at all the threats the nation of Israel faces. He believed that the International Criminal Court claiming jurisdiction over the state of Israel, a non-member, to be prosecuted in The Hague is an existential threat to Israel, and I agree with that. The hope is that our Democrat and Republican colleagues can take another shot at legislation to sanction the ICC. I think there's a breakthrough to be had where we could get 80 votes, and we're going to go back to the drawing board. The second thing that's important is any state that tries to implement the arrest warrant, any nation state, I believe should be sanctioned heavily by the United States. Why? To deter. We're next. The theory of the case is that a non-member, Israel, a very robust democracy, by the way, the Rome Statute wasn't written to deal with Israel, the United States. It was written to deal with ungoverned areas, lawless places in the world. So the theory they're espousing is that they have jurisdiction over every country anywhere in the world, and if they receive a complaint they think is legitimate, they can come after a democratically elected government with a robust rule of law that's not a member. What prevents the ICC from coming after the President of the United States? The Secretary of Defense, a member of the Senate? Nothing. So my goal is to crush the concept that the ICC has unlimited jurisdiction to go anywhere they want to go and prosecute anybody they want to prosecute. Israel cannot survive with its political leadership unable to travel, its soldiers threatened to go to jail for defending the state of Israel, and we're next. So where are we with normalization? October 7th was designed to stop normalization. Senator Ernst met with MBS on October the 6th, and he was very enthusiastic about the impending breakthrough. I've come here more times than I can count. I practically moved to Saudi Arabia. The deal was there. It was a matter of days, not months or weeks, in October of 2023 that we were going to announce the biggest deal in 1,000 years. A treaty for Saudi Arabia passed by the United States Senate, recognition of Israel with an end game for the Palestinians that Israel could live with and the Arabs would accept. October the 7th was designed to stop that. Iran's worst nightmare above all others is for the Arabs and the Israelis to reconcile and solve the Palestinian problem in perpetuity. That scares the hell out of them, and October 7th was designed to stop that. Let me tell you where I think we're at. We're a ways away. The attack on Israel, the second largest attack on the Jewish people in the history of the Jewish people since the Holocaust, has been traumatic. The desire to reconcile or live with the Palestinians in any way, shape, or form is a pretty hard sell right now. In the Arab world, Israel's won the war on the ground, but they've lost it on television. You go anywhere in the Arab world and all they see is morning, noon, and night attacks on the Palestinian people. My promise to the people of Israel and to this region is not to give up. I am very optimistic we will break through, and let me tell you why. There's no other solution. You can destroy Hamas, and we will, but they will come back unless the Palestinians have something to live for and Israel has security to make sure there's no other October 7th. As to Iran, you'll never know peace in this region as long as the Ayatollah and his henchmen have the capability to terrorize the region. So the number one goal for me, above all else, is to neutralize the Iranian nuclear program, to take that threat off the table so we can talk to each other in this region and solve problems for the benefit of the world. As to normalization, I think it's just a matter of time, because what the Arabs want and what Israel wants and what the world wants is to come together in an economic partnership to move forward toward the light, away from the darkness.
Let me, I think part of your question was sanctions. Let me just say about sanctions, maximum pressure works. The Prime Minister emphasized to us how important strengthening and enforcing the sanctions are to deterring and weakening Iran. The United States can send a message to Iran. The President said that if there wasn't a release of hostages, there would be hell to pay. Now, Iran ought to be the one to pay hell, because ultimately they are responsible for what Hamas does, as well as Hezbollah and the Houthis. They are the head of the snake. And the common recognition of that fact is an encouraging part of what I see happening, because the Arab plan to be submitted to the President will reflect that common understanding. But maximum pressure through sanctions, which Senator Ernst and I have worked on, I'm hoping we can move forward on, and I hope the administration will do it as well, because the President's the one who said there would be hell to pay.